All right. Can I get a thumbs up that I'm coming in loud? Okay, cool. All right, guys. Awesome. So I'm actually going to start out by just giving a little background on me. So I think it's really interesting that Mr. Sacco is the one who introduced me. And the funny thing is he is the one who actually introduced me to this industry as well. So starting off, I'll give a little bit of my backstory. So I'm from Tennessee, a really small town, about 7,000 people. And growing up, I was broke. I'll just say it like it is. You know, my parents were broke, and I watched them fight over a lot of things. And one of the things that they used to fight over was the fact that I wanted to play sports, but the sports costed money. And I was thinking, okay, like I don't want to ever give my kids that type of thing. I don't want to have to fuss because they want to play sports. I don't want to fuss because we don't have enough money. I don't want to have to not be able to take care of who I want to take care of because we don't have money. So the one thing that I found that I could change was I could go to college. So I could go get a 4-year degree. And, you know, I thought that I could get a good job. I could essentially just have everything that I never had. So that's what I did. I went to college. And through college, I was actually about to graduate. And what I seen was the starting salary for the job that I was going to college for was less than the job I was currently working in college to pay for college. So that's crazy. It was $18,000 was the starting salary for what I was going to college for. And I was currently working a job that paid more than $18,000 per year if I worked it full time. So my mind is turning, okay, so this good job that I was going to college for no longer looks like a good job. So my other option was to spend another 4 years, go to grad school, get my master's, get a PhD, and then maybe after my PhD, I might maybe be making $70,000 per year, which is nowhere near what I wanted to make. And so this whole time I'm thinking, okay, well, we got to do something different. We can't just get our degree. We can't just go to our jobs and just accept getting paid what they want to pay us per hour. So me and my husband, Tevis, he's actually on here today, and we were talking, and we just decided to start other businesses. We were trying to find another way to work with our job so we can just pay for living expenses, because, you know, the living expenses are going up, but people aren't getting paid anymore at their jobs. So what does that mean? That means people are living on credit. And we didn't want to do that. Like I said, I grew up poor. I didn't want to give my kids the same lifestyle that I had growing up. So we started some businesses. You know, we spent over $14,000 on a CrossFit gym we're going to open. You know, my husband's a physical therapist. So we decided to open a physical therapy clinic. You know, we spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on online courses for photography, training courses, hat company. Like, we just started going all these different routes. And the last thing for residual income that we decided to try was to write a book. I didn't write it. My husband and his twin brother, Tyler, he's on here too. They actually decided to write a book, because if you can just write that once and sell it over and over and over again, and that could give you the residual income. And at the time, we had actually known it as passive income. That's the only term that we had heard. So that's what we were after. And I'm sitting on the couch. I'm doing chemistry homework. My husband's in a chair. He's writing his book. And next thing you know, he gets a text message from one of his clinical instructors, someone who's struggling to pay off his student loan debt. We got a message from him. And the message was just asking Tevis to hop on a Zoom presentation. And he just asked him to do him a favor, you know, whether he wanted to get on or not, just do him a favor. And so he did. And Mr. Sacco was the one doing that presentation, very similar to what you're hearing today. And I had no interest in it. I was doing my chemistry homework. And so Tevis starts playing. I start hearing Mr. Saka talk. And naturally, I listen to Mr. Saka because it's either chemistry homework or not chemistry homework. Of course, I'm going to pick the not chemistry homework. So I started listening to him, and he's talking about these healthy products. And I'm slightly interested, but not really interested, because it was just one of those companies. And he kept talking, and he mentioned a man. He mentioned a man that has trained people to make significant residual income, over $1 million per month, some students. And so I'm thinking, okay, residual income, that's what we're looking for, might as well just check into it. So I kept listening, and the presentation kept getting more interesting and interesting. Presentation ended. By the time it was toward the end, I had set my computer over, gotten up over there by Tevis, and I was watching this presentation because it had caught my interest. And the residual income that we were after was what this company could provide. So we decided to listen. We decided to take a chance. We took that step. Some people call it a risk. I don't call it a risk at all. Starting the 6 businesses that failed was a risk. Starting this one that could almost guarantee residual income, that wasn't a risk at all for us. So we're like, okay. I actually had to go to class, so I told Tevis, I was like, don't do anything until I get back. And I was at class. I get a call from Tevis. I know exactly what it was about. And I answered the phone. He was like, I think we could really make a lot of money with this. I was just like, do what you have to do. I got to go to class. So he came home, and we started to make it work. And what do you know? We've gotten residual income, and it's been the best decision of our lives. I'll tell you that I'm 25 years old. I haven't worked a job since I was 22 years old. That was back in 2017, just a few months after I started the business. I haven't had a job. And it's phenomenal because I'll never have to have a job. Now that residual income that I was seeking, I have it. And it's only going to continue to grow from this point on. And after the training, so once we got involved with the company, there's this training. It was like $600 for me and my husband to go to, and we didn't have the money, so we sold one of our 2 cars. We went to the training. The man that Mr. Saka was talking about is Mr. J. Nolan, and he's the founder and CEO of this company. But at that training, within 2 days, it literally taught us more than we had ever learned in our entire college career. I had been about 4 years at this point. My husband's been about 5 years in undergrad plus another 3 in graduate school, and we had never seen anything like it. He had given us all the information that we needed to know to be successful in this world, like real life business information, and everything he's saying is documented. All these success stories of the people that he's trained, it's documented. And so we're just like, okay, we're not going to go back to school. The only reason I walked for graduation was to make my mom happy. And, I've never even seen my degree because I don't use it. And my husband, he only worked 3 months as a physical therapist, and then he quit. He don't work. I don't work. And we look like a bunch of kids. Like, how many people do you know that are 25 and 28 that don't have to work a job? As you see, I'm very, very passionate about this. So what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you this awesome opportunity, and I want you to just listen to it. Listen to it with open ears, with an open mind, because the person who invited you today, they cared enough about you to invite you to this. Like this is a season of giving, and all year long, just invite people to these things. They care enough about you, so just do them the favor, just watch it and then get back with them afterward. So let me go ahead and share my screen. That's the wrong slide. All right, so I'm going to start here. All right, so hopefully everyone can see the screen. If Mr. Saka, you can see it? Okay, cool. So I want you to ask yourself, do you like to travel? Now think about this. Do other people like to travel? And the answer is yes. And more than likely, you've said this sentence right. It says, someday I'm going to travel the world. And I've said it. I mean, I admit I've said someday I'm going to travel the world, but the key word here is someday. The bad thing is that someday never comes. You know, this is something we say to push it out, say 20, 30, 40, 50 years out in the future. And, you know, just maybe when we retire, we'll be able to travel. And we may be. That's if you get to retire. But a lot of people, they can't even retire now. So even if you are retired and you're traveling, say you're hurting now, that 16-hour flight to Australia, you know, it's got you to where you can't get out of bed the next morning. So you want to travel when you're young. You want to travel now. You don't want to have to push this out to where it's where it's a someday, to where it's just a wish. Because unfortunately that someday, it don't come for a lot of people. So that's why we're here today. We're here to make this a reality. And before I really dive into this, I want to show you who's behind all of this. So the amazing staff. Yeah, you see Mr. Sacker right there, the Chief Visionary Officer. He's the one that introduced me. He's the one that introduced me to the company. And I'm forever grateful. But look over here to your left, Mr. Jay Nolan. He's the founder and CEO of this entire company, this entire movement that we're doing. And he has 24 years of experience in the direct sales industry. So you could probably say he knows what he's talking about. He's had a few years, and he has over 3 million people in his sales organization, doing over $4 billion in sales. Like, he's the Michael Jordan of this industry. Is absolutely insane. And his track record with training people to be successful in this industry, it blows my mind. And I love the fact that it's actually documented. You know, there's no question here. You can't say, oh, you know, it's fake. No, it's on paper. You can actually go and see this. And he's the one that's leading this whole movement. You know, without the proper leadership, a company will fail. It don't matter how good the company is. If the leadership is corrupt, it's going to go down. And I can assure you that in this company, we have the best leadership possible. And all these other people, they're phenomenal too. Just know that when you have a conversation with these people, you feel better after the conversation than you felt before the conversation. They're all just phenomenal people and hilarious and just great hearts. Some of the greatest hearts that you'll ever find on the planet. And that's not a lie. That's not an exaggeration at all. And I love them all dearly. But let's look at this industry that Mr. Nolan has set us into. So this is a mega trend, travel. It's actually an $8.8 trillion industry. Last year it was $8.1 trillion. What does that tell me? That tells me within a year's time, it increased $700 billion in just 1 year. And you can imagine what it's going to do next year, or in 5 years, or in 10 years. This is going to be huge, and it's only going to grow. If you look over here, it's $21.9 billion per day, $913 million per hour, $15 million per minute, and then $253,000 every single second. So you snap your fingers 4 times, that's $1 million. Like, think of how many millions of dollars have been spent on travel just within the time that I've been talking. It's a lot. You know what? We're going to capitalize on that. So travel is such a huge industry, and there's so many people that say they love to travel. But why don't you travel more? You know, 9 out of 10 people say it's because of money. And that's understandable, because 97% of the people are trading their time for money. They're working a job where their boss says you're only worth $9 an hour, and you can't get paid that hour unless you come in and give me your hour. And that's what 9 out of 10 people are doing. And the other 1 out of 10, they say it's because of time. Why don't they have any time? More than likely, it's because they're at a job. Why are they at a job? It's because they need money, and they can't take off that job because they need the money. So in reality, it's 10 out of 10 people say it's because of money. And you know what? We're going to fix that. We're going to fix it with VOZ. This is personalized travel experiences that awaken the soul. Guys, this is an exclusive booking platform that you can access that gives you wholesale process to travel. So you'll be able to save on your travel. You'll be able to make money when you travel, and you're going to be able to marvel at all these destinations that you're now going to be able to go to because you can afford it. So you may ask yourself, isn't travel dominated by these big players where giants control the price wars and own the market? And the answer is yeah. Yeah, it has been dominated. And again, the key word is has been. VOZ is here. We're here to compete. And we have a lot of stuff to compete with. And I'll just dive right into that. So look in this gray area. It says general public travel options. So that right there is what you get if you go to Google, you type in a trip, and you book online. So any of the online travel agents, so any booking platform, I've used them. I know you guys have used them too. And, they're great companies. But you know what? They're charging people retail prices. And if you go a step up, traditional wholesale travel. So this is travel where people have paid for a membership. So they're paying thousands of dollars every single month to access this wholesale travel. The bad thing with this is you're paying thousands of dollars per month to get access to this, and the inventory is very limited. So the general public, they're the ones that have all the inventory. Take a step up, limited inventory. Now I want you to look here at the top. This is us. This is VOZ. We have direct wholesale members travel. So what does that mean? That means that we have the wholesale prices. So we have travel options that are direct from the suppliers to us. So we have access to that travel for wholesale prices. And we don't have a select inventory. We have a huge inventory, maybe even bigger than the general public have. And we're not paying thousands of dollars every single month to access this. And this is exactly how we're going to compete. And let's see what we have. We have hotels. We have car rentals. We have flights, homes, weeks, cruises, everyday savings, custom travel. And look over here, guys. We have lifestyle. We have golfing, resorts, wine clubs, theme parks, short excursions, outdoor adventures, world tours. Let me ask you this. When you go to a vacation, do you want to just sit in the hotel the whole time? Do you just hoard it up, don't do anything, and that's it? No. You want to go swim with the dolphins. You want to go take that tour. You want to go snorkeling, take surf lessons. Like, that's what people want to do. And that's what we're offering here with VOZ. We have over 700,000 hotels on our platform, over 4,000 golfing resorts on our platform. And you'll have access to all of this by being an elite travel affiliate. But I want you to look down here at this green or the purple pink circle. 200% price. Let me move this box. Okay, so 200% difference back, price guaranteed. And what that means is if you book with VOZ and then you find somewhere else that has a cheaper price, we're going to give you that difference back times 2. So say you book a hotel with us, and say somewhere else, which I wouldn't even waste your time and try to find this because we're so confident in our prices. But if you just happen to find something that's a little bit cheaper, say it's $50, we're going to give you $100 back in cash just because we're so confident in our prices. We want you to book with us. If you find something cheaper, we're going to make it cheaper to stay with us anyway, which is just phenomenal. I don't know of any other company that does this. Like, nobody else offers 200%, and it's just phenomenal what we have here. And you see a picture of it right here. It looks just like any of your other sites. I mean, you can go online and book this just as easy as you can Google a travel, if not easier, because everything's going to be on one platform. We have great travel experiences. That's a given. Now, how about saving upwards of 75% off the best public pricing? Yep. You heard it right. That's exactly what we have here with VOZ. And here's some examples. Take London, England, for example. That's a 4-star hotel. $333 per night. That's the best public pricing that we could find. Now, take that exact same hotel on the exact same dates. Look it up on our platform. That's $165 nightly. That's $168 per night that you're going to save. So who are you going to book with? The cheaper option. Exactly. Orlando, Florida, 4-star hotel, $183 per night. And with VOZ, let me move this box again. It's only $74 per night, $109 per night in savings. Who are you going to book with? You're going to book with VOZ. Hands down, it's a given. Let's look at some cars. So there's a 2-day car rental, Orlando, Florida. And on this booking site, which I've used before, $230. With VOZ, it's $138. And we're not trying to mix up the cars. We're not trying to mix up the dates to make this difference larger. This is the exact same car, exact same dates, exact same everything, and you're getting it for such a steal with VOZ. It really is. But let's look at this weekend vacation rental in Aruba. $305 per night. With us, you get it for $250 per night. For an entire week, you're saving $330. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I was a kid and we went on vacations, well, more than likely we weren't staying in a hotel. We were taking a family camping trip because we couldn't afford the hotel. But when we could afford the hotel, we weren't going out to eat. We weren't, doing any excursions because we couldn't afford it. Now imagine you give this VOZ pass to a family and they're saving $330 per week on their stay. Are they going to be able to go out and eat a few more times? Yeah. The kids are going to be able to go on the jet ski tours. They're going to be able to snorkel. And they're going to be able to do so many more things because they're saving so much with our platform. And it's truly incredible. I wish I had this when we were younger, but we didn't. But you know what? I have it now, and I have the ability to help so many other people with it. And it's just crazy. But how can you get these savings? You can become an SBH Elite Travel affiliate. So when you're an ETA, you get the most saved on travel. But the cool thing is you can share 50% of those savings with families and friends using the exclusive VOZ pass. So let me explain this to you. You can give someone a link with a code attached to it, and they can book their travel on it, and it's huge discounts. So these are discounts that they're looking for anyway. They're traveling anyway. Why not help them travel for less? And I always explain it with this. So imagine if you have a big sheet of warm cookies and say it's a little chilly day, so people are wanting these warm cookies. And you go out to a group of people and say, hey guys, I got a warm thing of free cookies. Why don't you have some? And they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is exactly what I've been needing. And then all your cookies are gone because everyone's eating them. Now imagine if $300 was attached to every cookie that they ate. And when they ate it, you got paid that $300. You'd be turning around and going and cooking another batch. And that's exactly what it is with VOZ. So you have these VOZ passes. You can just give them to people, and when they use them, money comes right back to you. And I'll explain a little bit how this works. So you're going to be able to save money when you travel, and then make money when any of you travel. And if you can understand this slide right here, then you have the potential to make millions of dollars in this industry, in this company, just based off this one slide, if you can just understand it. So I want you to look over here to the left. As an ETA, you can save 73% on this hotel in Del Cabo. So for an entire week, it's $4,380. So I'll use my mouse over here. So you're not paying that because that's the public price. You're an ETA, remember? So you're paying $1,182 for the entire week for this resort. You're saving over $3,000. So you're pretty happy. So you're able to pass the savings to family and friends. So look over here on the VOZ Pass customer site. They're saving 36% because that's half of the 73%. Same place in Del Cabo. Instead of paying $4,380, they're paying $2,781. Now that's not as much as you pay, or that's not as much as you save, but they're still saving over $1,500. Are they happy? Yes. Look over here. This is you. You're very happy because you're saving over $3,000. Over here, you're a customer. So you gave him a VOZ pass. He saved $15.99, and when he traveled, you got a bonus for half of what he saved. So in this case, your bonus is $799 on just one pass, on just one trip, with just one person traveling, which is what they were going to do anyway, and you're just helping them save money. It's a crazy idea to wrap your mind around, but it is so simple. And like I said, this is just one person. So imagine a team. Imagine more passes. So take this example. This is casual effort. This is just 10 customers. So you could do this in 30 minutes. You can pull up your cell phone contacts. You can find the first 10 people and you can call them and be like, hey, would you like discounts on your travel? Yeah, of course. So you give them a VOZ pass. So you give 10 people a VOZ pass. They save an average of $650 on their trip. You just made $32.50. That's a pretty good bonus. And imagine at your job, say you want a $32.50 bonus. You can't just like call up your boss and say like, hey man, I'd like to have a $32.50 bonus. Is that cool? No, they're not going to do that, more than likely. But the cool thing with us is you can pick how much you want to make. You just have to hand out more passes to make more money. So let's look at this. This is 100 customers. Like I said, you can get this done in an hour. Just go through your cell phone contacts. Hit the people that you know. And say each of these 100 people save $650 on their travels. That's $32,500 that you just made for helping your friends save some money. Now, think about this. 51% of Americans make less than $30,000 per year. You've just exceeded that within an hour's worth of work. That's crazy. And imagine what you could do with a year. Imagine how much money you could make just putting a little bit of time and effort into this, just helping people save money. And let's say you build a team. Say you have 1,000 people who are giving out 10 passes. So 1,000 people may seem like not a lot, but it's not. It's just 10 people who found 10 people who found 10 people who all want to save a lot on their travels. And they're each giving out 10 passes, saving an average of $650 on their trip. What does that look like for you? $230,000 on average per year. Now, tell me, where else can you make $230,000? Because I've looked at a lot of jobs. You know, there's some that offer that, but not many. And for me, I had the option to, okay, cancel my graduate school plans, because once I graduated with a PhD, I could have only made an average of like $75,000 per year. Handing out passes that people want anyway, I have the potential of $230,000. That's so much more, and it's so little effort. I feel like most of the time I say, you know, it's simple, but it's not easy. But in this case, it's simple and it is easy. I think it's pretty safe to say that. But let's look at if you build a larger team. So 10,000 people handing out 10 passes each, saving $650 per trip. That's $4,274 average per day that you're making. $128,000 on average per month. $1.5 million per year. You're a millionaire at that point, a travel millionaire. And it's really awesome because you're not only just helping yourself, you're helping so many others. Not just save on their travels, but have an opportunity to make a lot of money. That way they can take their family on these vacations. They don't have to stress and argue and bicker back and forth in front of their kids about money, because now you just helped them out. You just helped them add on to their income. And it's phenomenal to me. And I just want you to know that we have all the marketing and tracking tools that you would ever need. Imagine logging into your back office and you're seeing all these booked trips from the passes that you handed out. And you know for a fact when they take that trip, you're going to get paid. And you'll just be able to see them. And my husband gave this example yesterday. Now just imagine scrolling through Facebook and you see that, you know, your friend's family just took their vacation to Aruba. You know, you can log on to your back office and be like, oh crap, you know, I just got paid $800. Then you keep scrolling. You see someone else took a trip that you got to first and you handed your VOZ pass to. Log on to your back office, be like, I just got paid $900 for saving them money. That's crazy. And that's exactly what you're going to be able to experience with this. And it's just phenomenal. And it makes me ask, what's something like this worth? Mr. Nolan, him and his 24 years of experience, he has, we're actually open in 90 countries, soon to be more. And he's paid for all this infrastructure and provided it to us. So what does it cost? With us and all of our businesses, I think Tevis said the number was like about $300,000 that we paid for businesses that failed. What would we pay for something that was successful? Well, definitely $300,000 because we paid it on the businesses that failed. But I'm going to tell you, you're not going to have to pay $300,000 to access this. You're not even going to have to pay $100,000 or even $50,000 or $5,000. You're not going to have to pay that. You can get your foot in the door for $49 per year. That's less than $1 per week. If you like candy bars, just don't buy a candy bar once per week for the entire year. You just have a business. You have the opportunity to now change your lineage. See, I look at it as my great-grandmother, I knew her, she was broke. My grandmother, she was broke. Matter of fact, she's almost 70 years old and she's still working her job full time because she can't retire because her bills are more than her income. I was actually talking to her the other day and it was very sad. It made me emotional because she said if she quit, her retirement check was going to be $330 per month. And I don't know anyone that could live off of that. But $49, guys, my mom was broke too. I looked at it, I looked at my life and I said, I'm not going to be the one that continues that broke. I'm going to be the one that changes it, and I'm going to be able to retire my family who can't retire. And I'm going to stop before I get emotional, but that's my drive. And $49, that don't get you everything. That just gets you hotels and a few passes. If you want to make more money, you could join the movement with a VOZ movement pack. And you see the price there. It's $14.95. The regular price is $19.95. It's on promotion right now because we're still in pre-launch. And the value of this is so, in my opinion, is very underpriced. But $14.95, I would jump on it before it went up, which it will soon. But with this, you get an exclusive elite travel training in January that costs $1,500. So just with that training, you've already paid for your pack. And you get so much more. You get a stack of passes they can just hand to people and start making that money, that residual income that you desire. You get 2 audio series, 2 6-hour audio series from Mr. Nolan himself. That's several $100s. You get a $295 ticket credit. So you're getting so much more than what you paid for. But if you want to go big, go home. If you're the one who wants to go the biggest pack, we do have a founders pack. So you can join the movement with the founders pack, $29.95. That price is going to go up as well. But the thing is there's only going to be 3,000 founders. And you see here, US, Canada, $750, Europe, $750, Asia, $750, and so on. And once all 3,000 of these packs are sold, you are going to get a portion of the entire company's revenue paid to you for 12 consecutive months. Now that excites me. That excites me a lot because I know that the travel industry is growing at such a rapid rate, and I know what we have is so much better than everybody else. Like I've looked at these other places, and they can't touch us on what we have. And for 12 consecutive months, you're getting paid a portion of the company's revenue among all the founders. That just excites me. You still get a stack of passes. You get the elite travel training in January. You get the audio series. You get the ticket value. It's an incredible deal. And, you know, $29.95 compared to the $300,000 that we've paid. And even if you look at the average that people spend on opening a traditional business, like, it is so much more. Like, $29.95, that's nothing. It's so exciting to be a part of this, and I'm just mind blown. So I want to welcome you guys to VOZ, and I want to end with this. You know, there's a young reporter. He actually wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, and he was an interviewer. So what he did is he went and interviewed a guy named Andrew Carnegie, who was the first documented millionaire, my bad. And so this 3-hour interview is only supposed to be 3 hours. It turned into 3 days because Carnegie saw that Mr. Hill was getting this. And in the book he wrote, so he was commissioned to give, say, about 20 years of his life interviewing these wealthy people. So Carnegie was going to be the connection point. He was going to introduce him to all these millionaires, these just wealthy people, and it was Napoleon Hill's job to interview these people and figure out why they were successful and why everybody else was not. Like, what did they have that was different than everybody else? And what he did is he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. It was actually Laws of Success, but he condensed it to the Think and Grow Rich book. And on the very last page, so in conclusion to what all of his findings that he had, he says, life is a checkerboard, and the player opposite you is time. If you hesitate before moving or neglect to move promptly, your men will be wiped off the board by time, because you're playing against an opponent that will not tolerate indecision. And what that means is the wealthiest people of the wealthiest people, they did not hesitate when it came to making decisions. They thought quickly, and they changed their mind very slowly. And this is what Mr. Hill found amongst all these millionaires, all these rich people. And right now you have a decision to make. I want you to get back with the person who invited you on this presentation. And I want you to let them know, I want to get started with the movement pack, or I want to get started with the founder pack. It's just a decision. And it's an easy decision in my case. And so I appreciate everybody getting on today. And I want to welcome you to VOZ. And I look forward to meeting you and working with you in the future. So I'm actually going to turn this over to Mr. Saka, see if he has anything else to say. If not, then I'll go ahead and end the meeting.